peoples of the worldwide federated internet. What's good? Oh man, I was off yesterday. Man, y'all didn't let me know. I skipped a whole chapter. I skipped chapter 24 of the book of Exodus. This is what happens when you're moving around, reading through a book. I listened through chapter 24, listened through 25, and as I was listening to 25, I had a little bit, more thoughts, didn't really think anything of it. And after, because I'll rewatch my episodes, because a lot of times, even when I'm listening over as I'm uploading, there's certain things I won't catch. Sometimes I might, say something that's off. I don't always correct it, but sometimes I might say something that's off, or I might put something in the description I didn't intend to put. And so I'm trying to catch these things, fix these things. I'm trying to get a little more polished as I do my podcast. So as I'm listening through, I was looking through my videos and I was like, wait, hold up. I didn't go through Exodus chapter 24. So today is going to be a little unorthodox. We're going backwards because I did not do Exodus chapter 24. So now we're coming back to Exodus chapter 24. So when you listen to, or if you already have listened to the latest podcast, you don't really have to listen to this one and then go back. But if you want to be in order, that's what you would do. So anyway, the book of Exodus chapter 24. Let's get into this. Okay. And he said unto Moses, Come unto the Lord, thou and Aaron and Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. So he called all them up, worship, but worship far off. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. Verse 3, And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord, and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice, and said, All the words which the Lord hath said will we do. Now you're going to have to remember that they said this, because this is going to really matter. Something that's actually going to be said at the end of this chapter is really going to matter as well for some context clues. And you'll see when we get there. Verse 4, And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Again, these numbers are not irrelevant. There's many people that have gone over biblical numerology. Chuck Missler is a man that has gone over that a lot. Definitely a man who understood this more than I probably ever will. I would consider myself a novice when it comes to Bible study. I love my Bible. I love getting in the Bible. I love looking into deep things, but seriously, I consider myself a novice. I don't really think I know much. Verse 5, And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings and oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read it, and read in the audience of the people. And they said, All that the Lord hath said will we do and be obedient? Now, again, you must remember that these people said these things, and you will see why this is so relevant as we get further into the book of Exodus. It's going to matter. And it's going to be one of those situations where we really see humanity in general. We see a lot of our own actions in what we see the children of Israel doing, because honestly, we're no different. We like to think that we're different, and if we were here during this time, we'd have done things so different, and we wouldn't have gone here, and we wouldn't have done that, and we wouldn't have violated here. And truth be told, we probably have done the same thing. Verse 8, and Moses, did I already go to obedient? Okay, verse 8, and Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant, which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words. Now we're going to look up this word covenant, because this is one of those words that is important. You'll see this word shows up quite a few times in the Old Testament, and definitely shows up in the New Testament, and it has irrelevance. Not irrelevance, but it has relevance. Excuse me. Covenant means to come, a coming together or meeting or agreement of minds, a mutual consent or agreement of two or more persons to do or to forbear some act or thing, a contract, a stipulation. A covenant is created by deed in writing, sealed and executed, or it may be implied in the contract. A writing containing the terms of agreement or contract between parties, or the clause of the agreement, indeed containing the covenant. In theology, the covenant of works is that implied in the commands, prohibitions, and promises of God. The promise of God to man that man's perfect obedience should entitle him to happiness. And this is all encompassed in the definition of covenant. This is an agreement. This is the agreement that God made with the people, and also the people agreed to this thing. Now, again, you must pay very close attention to the fact that the people did agree to this. They said, these words we will obey. We're going to do this. That is really going to matter. Where was I at? Yeah, I read that. Verse 9. Then went up Moses and Aaron and Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw God, and did eat and drink. And the Lord said unto Moses, come up to me in the mount, and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone, and a law and commandments, which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up into the mount of God, and said unto the elders, tarry ye here for us until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man have any matter to do, let him come to them. Moses giving him instructions. He's getting ready to go up to the mountain. Excuse me, it's my phone there. Yes, that was the Jetsons that you heard. So Moses is getting ready to go up to this mountain. He's letting the people know Aaron and Hur are here. If you have any questions, if there's any problems, Go to these men, they will stand in my stead while I'm gone. And Moses went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount, and the glory of the Lord abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And the seventh day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud, and the sight of the glory of the Lord was like devouring fire on the top of the mount, and the eyes of the children of Israel were like a devouring fire on the top of the mount, and in the eyes of the children of Israel, excuse me. And Moses went into the midst of the cloud and gat him up into the mount, and Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. Not a coincidence that Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. Look into that. Very interesting. Here's the next thing that's interesting. So something is going to happen. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but remember, the children of Israel, they said, yo, all right, this is the commandment that was laid. We are going to listen. Whatever you're saying, whatever you've commanded, whatever you've gotten from God, we're going to listen. We're all in. That's what they said with their own mouths. If you've read the story, you know what happens. You know that the children of Israel didn't really keep their end of the bargain. And what they did was really egregious, and it angered Moses. This is what I think happened. One, Moses was on that mount for 40 days and 40 nights. Let that sink in. What's interesting is I never really thought about the fact that, man, there must have been a lot of conversing going on between Moses and God. And when I say conversing, I'm sure Moses was asking all kind of questions and God was providing him with all kind of answers. What all was said? We don't have every nth detail, but we do know that Moses was up there for 40 days and 40 nights. Now that's going to matter. It's going to be really important when he comes back down and you see how things transpire. But again, imagine all the knowledge that Moses gained while he was on top of that mountain talking to God. I'm sure there's things that Moses was told that are not recorded that we would probably be astonished if we knew all those things. Those are the things that I think about. And I don't think it's insignificant, but I also think that the things that Moses was told that wasn't necessarily written down was probably monumental, but not necessarily something for the people to hear at that time. But we're going to see what happens, and boy, is it going to get spicy in these Hebrew streets. Y'all know what it is. Stay frosty, people.